We're mock drafting. I think everything's good audio-wise. Can you hear me okay? We're mock drafting. You guys request mock drafts more than anything else that I do. So mock drafting is what we're going to do. But I want to get into some of the news and notes around the league before we kick off the mock draft. So can you hear me? Let me know if you can hear everything. There we go. Sorry, I had to restart and then I had to rehook up the mic. All right, time to mock draft. Before we get into the mock, we're going to go over some news. We're going to talk about Zeke Elliott, among other things. So let's pop up Zeke Elliott's name here and start talking about that topic. Well, we can talk about Dalvin Cook, but let's change this to Zeke Elliott. And let's talk about it. Where are you guys drafting Zeke Elliott? Before we start the mock draft, we're going to do it on ESPN, so get logged in. Where are you drafting Zeke Elliott? Are you guys dropping him out of the top 4 yet? Because that's a common thing that I get. Hit the thumbs up on the way in. We're going to mock draft. Get ready. We're mock drafting in probably 5 to 10 minutes. But I first want to get through some news and notes. We're mock drafting at ESPN. Trying to trade Gordon for Kelsey. Yeah, I'd probably do that. So Grant is saying he drafts Zeke at number 4. Come on, throw out the where you're drafting Zeke at. Toss it out. And please, yes, hit the thumbs up on your way in the door if I bring you any kind of value at all. So it's funny because you have a lot of people saying, "Hell yeah, I'm not letting Zeke drop out of my top 4." Then you have other people saying, "Hell no, I wouldn't touch him in the top 4." People that were burned by Le'Veon Bell are going to be very, very careful and cautious with this situation, and I understand why, and I don't blame anybody for avoiding Zeke. I get it. Look, first overall, okay, 4th, 4 or 5, not at all, says Robert. I mean, these are all over the map. Robert says not at all. Mighty says number 5. Zeke would be around 2.6 for me. That's crazy. 2.6, really? 2nd overall, actually, he says. Watkins says 2nd round. I think I've already clicked on yours. Cowboys don't have the depth. So currently he's in my top 4. I'm not dropping him out yet. I'm not saying that couldn't change, but we'll see what happens. We haven't even been, week 1 of the preseason, he's not going to be playing anyways. If he was like sitting out week 2, week 3 of the preseason, I start to panic a little more. I start realizing that, you know what? It's not impossible anymore for a running back to hold out into the year, let alone the whole year. We've seen it happen. No one thought that Lev Bell in early August was going to really even hold out, let alone hold out for a long period of time, let alone never return for the 2018 season. So, yeah, Robert, I get what you're saying. Robert's saying he's just a headache. And he makes a good point. I got his comment on screen here. Suspension, and now hold out, too much of a headache. He does feel like a walking problem. And you do wonder, is it going to be that crazy later on to be like, this guy, the writing was on the wall that he would push it to the limit and actually hold out during the year. So, I for right now, he's in my top 4. The next topic I want to talk about is Damian Williams. A lot of people are freaking out about his hamstring injury. So let's talk about this real quick. Then we're going to get into the mock draft. So I just wanted to touch on the news. How do you join? I'm going to tell you what mock draft to go into. Actually, you know what? We're not going to do it on ESPN. I apologize. I said that earlier. We're going to do it on Fantasy Football Calculator. Okay? That'll make it quicker. You won't need to be logged in. So go to fantasyfootballcalculator.com, get in the mock draft lobby, and wait if you want to get in. The spots will go very, very fast. So make sure you have that pulled up. If you think you're going to get in by pulling your browser up after I announce that we're doing it, you're not going to get in. So Damian Williams, before we get into the mock draft, again, we'll go to fantasyfootballcalculator.com. Damian Williams, is it time to panic? No, it's not. And hit the thumbs up if you're in here, please. It really helps the show out. I really appreciate it. Damian Williams is the only running back there that knows that offense in and out. And it's so complex he doesn't even know it fully yet. He's even admitted that. And that's not a knock on him. That's just to say that this offense is crazy complex. And for someone like Hyde, especially Darwin Thompson, who I think is the better running back of the two, Hyde and Thompson, Darwin's too green to be ready to take over as the starting running back. So Damian Williams, to me, if he's healthy, that's the question, Keith. That's the question that we all have. If he's healthy, is Damian Williams a top 5 to 10 running back lock? I think the answer is yes. Now, hamstring injuries happen. He played all 6 games from the 4 last games during the season, regular season games, into the 2 playoff games on fire. Lights out, over 100 total yards a game. And where's the thumbs up button? You shouldn't have a problem finding it. From the last 4 games in the regular season on out through the 2 playoff games, he was top 3, depending on how you look at those stats and calculate the scoring. But in most every format, he's going to be 1, 2, or 3 for those last 6 games. Now, I know you're including 2 playoff games. I know you're only including the last 4 regular season games, but they are all 6 straight games. It's not like we're taking piecemeal bits and pieces of data and saying, oh, but he did good here. Literally taking his last played games. There's no better sample to take. He was in the top 3 in terms of points for running backs through a 6-game span. 10 TDs in 6 games. 10. And the guy's going to be on pace for 70-something receptions if you play 16 games. That's the kind of year he's going to have. I see no way he isn't a top 5 to 10 running back if he plays 16 games. Now, if you draft Damian Williams, you have to cuff him to at least one of the running backs. But the problem is you don't know who the backup is. Right now it's Hyde. But I think in time it will be Darwin Thompson. He's a very skilled, gifted player. Hyde has trouble staying healthy himself. So if anybody thinks Hyde's going to play 16 games, they're joking themselves. It could be one of those things where all 3 of them start 4 games, or 5 or 6, whatever. It could be one of those scenarios, but you have to own all of them. If you can't afford to own all 3 of the running backs, or at least the top 2 at the time, you have no business drafting Damian Williams. You just don't, because you can't back him up properly, and it's the situation that's king there, not any one of those running backs. I like Damian Williams, but I don't love Damian Williams outside of that situation. I love Damian Williams in that situation, which you can't separate. You can't take away situation from player. So for me, you own Damien, you own the backups, or at least the top backup at the time, and you hope to God you have it right, or you don't play that game at all. Just like you don't draft Connor unless you're owning Samuels and Snell, or at least Samuels, and have your finger ready to click on adding Snell at any moment. You just can't go down that road. You shouldn't go down that road. That might make people angry because they're like, hey, I'm in a small Yahoo league that allows for 5 running back spots. Well, then you have to take a safer running back. But I'm not worried yet about Damien. We'll find as the weeks come. I'm very objective, and I can be totally unbiased because I don't hang on to my. A lot of people think I just stick to something, and I don't. I don't. If I need to readjust on my Damian Williams, I will. But I'm pretty damn positive. Wow, look at Thomas with the super chat. Boom. Look at this. Thank you, Thomas. Thomas, you get to interrupt anytime you want with the $50 super chat. You're the man. He says you will be at 1 million in no time. I think we're going to be at 10,000 by the end of the year very, very easily. And then, man, heading into 2019, this time next year, with people like you, Thomas, and all of you guys, we're going to be... I would not be shocked if this time next year we're like at 15, 20,000 subscribers. Like, really, that would be something I can totally envision, given the response and how awesome you guys are. And Thomas with the $50 super chat, it's amazing. Thomas is the man. Thomas is balling. Thomas gets Thomas gets a phone call advice anytime you want. Thomas, email me, and right before your draft, we're going to discuss stuff because I take care of my people, and you're obviously here taking care of the show. So, Thomas, thank you. If you have a question, please post it. Thomas is the man. All right. Let's get to mock drafting, shall we? So, Thomas, make sure you have your browser up. I can't lock you into a spot, so you got to jump on it quick. Let's put myself in the corner. You don't need to see my mug. And we're in the mock draft lobby. Let's refresh this. Let's refresh this, and okay. Mock draft lobby is up. And of course, it's like refreshing on us. Come on. Give it a second. It's reloading. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and scroll down so we can all get into this draft. We're going to grab the one that ends in 5507. $5507. 12 teams, 15 rounds. PPR mock draft. You see it right in front of you. So those of you that are in the chat room or in the fantasyfootballcalculator.com, go to fantasyfootballcalculator.com, draft mock draft lobby, and I could probably even paste the link. Let me do that. My bad. Boom. Click on that and jump in. SMFFCN in the house. What's up, man? We got Pooh, Mango, Todd, G, Alex, LIP, and Vinny, Mark. And we have one spot left. They go fast. Number 8. Number 8's available. Number 8 is no longer available. We are full. That's how we roll. We're starting in 1 minute and 22 seconds. Yeah. So we are rolling. What's up, Mike? You think he meant to put $5 in and hit 50 by accident? No. Well, we'll find out. But he's the man. What's up, Kerry? Thomas is balling, man. Thomas is balling. Thomas gets to ask a question anytime he wants, and I completely stop what I'm doing and answer. I don't know how many seconds are in between picks. I think it's 45. Who wants to trade for the first overall? No, thank you. All right, guys, 54 people in the room, 32 thumbs up. I appreciate it. You guys rock. Grant, yeah, they go quick, man. One time I tried to enter, and I was talking, like, let's join this mock draft. And I click on it, and I started talking, and then I typed in my name, and then somebody grabbed the spot that I was trying to grab, and I got kicked out of my own mock draft. We had to start over. So, sorry, Mike. John Murray, you're taking KK. Yeah, what the hell is with the name, John? Oh, he was trying to type just anything in to get the spot because I understand what you're saying. Who's your sleeper for wide receiver this year? Dude, I got a ton of them. I love Calvin Ridley as a middle round guy. Okay, Alvin Kamara just went off the board. We're rolling. Let's close this. And let's get to going. 33 seconds left. I'm at the 5 spot. We're trying the 5 spot again. Try clicking on that link. It's this link, Tyler. Click that link. Hurry, Tyler. You might be able to get back in. I'm not sure. So it went Kamara, it went Barkley, it went McCaffrey. Now Elliott went. Oh, did you get back in? Good. So I'm on the clock. So Elliott went. So I have no dilemma to have to draft Elliott, and I would have taken him at 5. I went 5 because I wanted to see if he'd fall. Draft player. We're going with D. Hopkins. So the big 4 haven't changed other than Elliott's moving now to the 4th pick. In my opinion, that's what you're going to see constantly. When does he on the regular drop into the 5, 6, 7 range? We'll find out. Some people in the chat before we started the mock draft said they wouldn't touch him until the second round. Some people said they wouldn't draft him at all. Let me move my mug down here now. Carrie says, interested to see what happens at the 2-3 turn at the 1.01. Damn straight. Damn, it says not found. Somebody must have my spot. No, I think you went computer controlled because you're still showing up as the drafter. But yeah, you backed out. It must have computer controlled you. That's too bad, Tyler. Yo, if you pick 2 wide receivers at the 1 and 2, who do you look for at running back at 3 and 4? Montgomery's one of them. Aaron Jones is another. Devonta Freeman in the 4th, if you should be so lucky. Kerryon Johnson in the 3rd, if you're lucky enough. I don't take him in the 2nd. That's too high. Bell is underrated, I believe, that as well. I think 7's a decent spot for him. I don't think you stole him away. All right, so I took Hopkins at 5. David Johnson went 6. Le'Veon Bell went 7. Julio went 8. Devontae Adams 9. Michael Thomas 10. Juju 11. Par for the course, guys. This is like textbook mock draft material right here. Odell Beckham Jr. went 12. I like that. I love Odell at the 12, 13 this year. Dalvin Cook. I mean, Vinny, fantastic start. Odell and Cook, I love those two. Keith says Fournette. Fournette what? Well, crap. Tyler says crap. Hopefully it doesn't mess things up. No, the computer control will just go fast. It'll pick automatically. But yeah, it sucks. I don't know. You said you refreshed the browser. It sucks you couldn't stay in, man. Finally got you in here. You jumped out. What's going on? John Montgomery over Kerryon at 3.04. I would, but that's me. I like Kerryon too. I'm not saying I don't like Kerryon, but I love. Let me drop all this down. Give us some more real estate. Okay, so Juju went Odell and then the turn. Cook, Evans, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, Nick Chubb. Par for the course. You guys are like on par with, I think, what I was expecting. My worst fear is that you guys draft this good every time I draft. You guys take all my players. Sorry, Tyler. I'll post again on the forum on sleeperu.com. And if you guys haven't, make sure, if you don't know, now you know, Monkey Knife Fight, enter code Smitty. If you go to monkeyknifefight.com, enter code Smitty, they'll do 100% match up to your first $50 if you want to do prop style betting. It's a freaking fantastic way. They're newer. I'm on the clock, so I'm gonna have to take all this off screen. But Monkey Knife Fight, enter code Smitty. James Conner. You know, you're going to see me do something I don't normally do. I'll take Joe Mixon this late, and we'll see how I like my team. I'm not a big Joe Mixon fan at all. I doubt him quite a bit, but let's see what my team looks like if I take Joe Mixon. I don't think I own Joe Mixon in any leagues. I don't like him at all at a 7 to 10 value that he sometimes goes at. I personally would avoid him like the plague in the first round. But at the second round, when you guys put me in this type of position, because you guys literally make no mistakes. These are the hardest drafts when I draft with you guys. And it was between Mixon and I do like Damien there, but Damien has a little risk. It's time to be honest. There's enough of a risk to say he should be going in the third round, I think, as a good pick, as a good low-risk pick. But Mixon, Damian Williams, you can't really go wrong at late second-round value. I don't like him either, Balls Life. I honestly, I feel so uncomfortable drafting Mixon. But I feel like at some point you have to take the dive. 71 people in the room. Hit that thumbs up if you can. It helps the show. If I add any value at all to your day, please hit that for me. See, in an ideal world, if I wasn't drafting with you snipers, I would have had at least Antonio Brown, at least Mike Evans, or at least I don't know. You know, the one player I thought about taking there that in retrospect I probably would have was Melvin Gordon, but just to take that gamble that late, I probably would still, but so after my Mixon pick, it went Gurley, Damian Williams, Melvin Gordon, Keenan Allen, Derrick Henry, and then we turned into the third round. Yeah, it's shallow when I draft with you guys every single time. You guys are on the ball every time. I don't think I ever steal anybody away in the second and third round when I'm drafting with you guys. Yeah, I'm totally worried about Mixon. Like I feel uncomfortable that I drafted Mixon right there. Completely uncomfortable. It's totally outside of my norm. But I like to do that too, though, to give you guys a feel for what it would look like, because some of you will draft Mixon at 5, 6, or at 7, 8, 9 in the second round. So I'm going to give you. Okay, so I'm going to go with Patty Mahomes here because I don't love a lot of the options. I mean, Mac's okay. Yeah, I'm going to go Pat Mahomes. Which a lot of people hate. Nobody likes Pat Mahomes in the third round. I do. This guy does. And I'll take him every time if put in a situation where Kittle's gone. I consider Kerryon too, for sure. Kerryon's gone. Henry's gone. Evans. Monty's a good pick, for sure. Thielen went after my Mahomes pick. You can get Monty in the late third round now pretty easily, so that's why I don't typically reach for him. But I would have taken him here if I had not had a running back at this point. So if I went zero wide receiver or zero running back approach, I would have then. But I couldn't go zero running back because all the running backs were snagged from Antonio Brown to Mike Evans on up, when normally at the 1.05 in that second round. I do like the Mahomes pick at the 1.01 turn. I do too. I think that's fantastic carry to grab him there. I agree. So Montgomery went at number 7 in the third round. Zach Ertz went at number 8. We're on the clock at number 9. Tyler says, come on, computer. So far, Tyler, let's see what your computer team has been drafted as. Elliott, Gurley, Aaron Jones. Not bad. I don't like Gurley, but I mean, T.Y. Hilton. Personally, I like Fournette, and Fournette's lower risk in the fourth round. I don't find myself taking him in the third round very often. But you can't argue that given the way these players are falling, and it's so weird how thin it feels drafting with you guys. There's no slip-ups anywhere. Daniel will look for you on the next one. They go really fast. Maybe we'll do a 14-teamer next time to get 2 extra people in it. Robert Woods went at the top of the 4th round. Marlon Mack went at the very bottom of the 3rd. Fournette went the pick before Mack. Hilton went the pick before Fournette. Freeman's good value in the 4th. Yeah, robust running back. You like Hopkins over DJ? I do. Not by a ton, but I tend to like to attempt the wide receiver when I get the 5 pick. I always go best player available, but I attempt to go wide receiver when I get the 5 or 6 pick. And then depending on what happens in the 2nd round, usually Evans is there or Cook. So yeah, these rankings are a little bit different. They do guide you. The pre-rank list oftentimes will guide the draft. So if, So I took Hopkins, Mixon, who I'm not a huge fan of usually, and then took Pat Mahomes. I'm pretty happy with my 3. I'd probably look to trade Mixon. I just like the value of if I can go get a Dalvin Cook in a league, or if I wanted to trade Mixon for a wide receiver, I probably could go get an Antonio Brown or a Mike Evans pretty easily, even though they went before in this draft. In general, Mixon can get you that kind of value in a trade. Thoughts on Ertz going early? I like Zach Ertz a little bit, but his ADP's falling for a reason, guys. People are definitely doubting him. I think 4th round is where you often find him, and I don't think I take him in the 3rd. There's only one tight end I take early in 2019. I don't take Kelsey because he costs too much. The one tight end I'll take early in 2019 is George Kittle. So, Edelman went. So at this point, I've got Hopkins, I've got Mixon, I've got Mahomes. I'm pretty well balanced and even, so I can really go whichever direction. What are you guys thinking here? What do you guys like for this pick? Diggs isn't bad. Ingram is not bad. Galladay is not bad. Godwin is not bad. What are you guys liking here? I'm thinking Diggs. If I don't time out. Almost timed out. I'm liking the team. I'm liking my team. I'm only not in love with it because I don't love Mixon, but I think it's a pretty damn good team. Hopkins, Mixon, Mahomes, Diggs, pretty solid. Now I need to see who's going to be up at. So after my Diggs pick, it went Godwin. Let me scroll down so you guys can see it. It went Diggs, Godwin, Galladay, Lockett, and then now we're on the clock here at the 4.12. Diggs just saved this team, he says. I'd like this team. I'd take this team into war. Not my favorite team I've drafted, but I'm drafting with you guys, and you guys make it extremely tough for players to fall where they shouldn't fall. Ridley went at the 4.12. Not bad. Chris Carson just went at 5.01, and I am 4 picks away now. So Mango is on the clock. Pooh is on deck, and then the computer-controlled SMFFCN, who logged out, but he's still here rooting on his computer-controlled team. Tyler's in the house. Tyler, give your computer-controlled team some advice right now. And we have a new button in the house, guys. We have a new button in the house. The no button. So when you say something I don't like.
No, 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 no. No, no, no. 1,000 times no.
You hear me? Cooper Kupp went at 5.02. We need a running back, guys, says Randy. Randy, you talking about my team? Are you on my team, Team Smitty? Ingram went. That's a shame. Ingram was the guy I would have wanted. I think Tevin Coleman's pretty damn good here. Tevin Coleman, Tariq Cohen, Sonny Michel. I'm not a big fan of Michel, so I'm going Tevin Coleman. Tevin Coleman's damn good value. So there's the team so far. Hopkins, Mixon, Mahomes, Diggs, Coleman. That's not bad. Not a bad team at all. Don't make me do it. Don't make me do it. I've got so many more things up my sleeve. Things like this. I got to try and screw this into the wall, but it needs to be in sight. So like right there maybe. Right there. I'll screw it in right there. The no button needs to be visible. Okay. Yeah, Larry, I like Coleman too, man. So for having just, I think, weaker running backs, Mixon and Coleman are pretty darn decent. And then, that's the taking Pat Mahomes early approach. Not always the best approach. It depends on the flow of draft. If I would have taken, let's say, it would be a David Montgomery there instead of Pat Mahomes. I could have gotten an Aaron Rodgers or someone like that later. That would have been a damn good team too. But I am of the thinking this year that while everybody else tells you not to draft Pat Mahomes, while everybody else tells you that waiting on a QB is the way to go, I'm telling you that I believe Pat Mahomes can repeat what he did last year. And I know stats tell you otherwise. I know history says history's made to be broken. The historical records never stay. People emerge that are unusual, and if you don't feel in your gut that Pat Mahomes is unusually talented, look how young he is. His first ever command of that offense, and he does 50 TDs, 5,000 yards, and you don't think he's the one that's capable of repeating it? That makes me scratch my head. So I am banking on Pat Mahomes in a ton of leagues this year, and I'm damn proud of it. And I know a lot of people won't like that. And I know that goes against so much of what everybody tells you out there. I know that, and it's funny because I'll say this, I'll explain it, and then I'll still get time and time again somebody go, but Smitty, don't you think it's better to wait on a QB? Because a lot of the experts say that QBs will fall. And they will. And I do like Baker Mayfield in the 6-7 range. I do like Aaron Rodgers in the 4th, like Team 9 got. That's awesome value. I love it. But I do feel like Mahomes can be a difference maker. I do feel like Mahomes can score 75 to 100 points more than most other QBs. 10% regression gets him 4,500 and 45 TDs. But, Larry, I think a regression in passing just makes him run for more. Mahomes early or Baker in the round 5 or 6. I love them both. I don't think either strategy is bad or one has a huge advantage over the other. I think they both can be extremely advantageous. Darrell Henderson went at the top of the 6th round. Not surprising. Actually, great value. I think, as I predicted, the Todd Gurley news as of recently would bump Henderson out of the 5th and back into the 6th round because people are getting amped about Gurley because he's on the field. And no one's expecting him now to get hurt. So I'm all about taking advantage of that. Okay, so let's see what wide receivers are available. Man. There's like no one left. Isn't that crazy how things thin out more than usual when you're drafting with a bunch of people that know what they're doing? Who should I take? Running out of time. I guess Pettis at this point. I don't... Freaking so thin. That's really early for Pettis, I will admit. But he was like the only player as I'm timing out. This goes too quick. 45 seconds is tough. We're going to be doing, I think, a 30 to 35 second timer during the 48 team draft. What's going on, Andrew? And so it's going to be quick. It's going to be tough. It's going to be easy to time out. So get ready for that. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, on August 23rd, I'm doing a live stream. Mahomes also has the toughest QB schedule. Randy, that could be true, but defenses change from year to year, and Pat Mahomes is pretty hard to plan for. And I think he's one of those players that is matchup proof, essentially. As matchup proof as matchup proof gets. You guys make drafting tough. So here's the draft for those of you that are just joining. Yeah, I like Pettis a lot this year too. I'm not like in love with the team I drafted here, but I like it. It's not bad at all. That's why we mock draft. Even us so-called experts don't make the best move at every turn. Even we look at our own draft and we're like, hey, where was my mistake? Where should I have waited on this guy or that guy? A good plan, and I will say that I would probably like this team a little bit better. So here's me admitting it. That if I would have in this situation, maybe gone Montgomery instead of Mahomes and took Andrew Luck in the 6th round. I would have liked that. But I love this team too. So I'd take that in retrospect. And that's why waiting on a QB can work. But taking Mahomes early also can pay off big time. Especially if you're drafting with a bunch of guys that are magazine drafters, then you're probably going to get a better player to fall to your 6th round pick. Like instead of taking Luck in the 6th. If I would have taken Mahomes and a player like... Hold on, I'm on the clock. I'll take Geis. There's a chance. There's a chance he plays really well this year. But I hope they unleash him a little bit later. I do not want him going out there early on and getting hurt. Because that's what's going to happen. But to explain my when to wait on a QB, when to not. So here's a good lesson. When you're drafting with very experienced people and people that know what they're doing, like in this draft, because this draft no one fell. It felt like the player pool dried up in like the mid-3rd round instead of having players available at my pick in the 3rd round that I normally would have. This would have been probably the best scenario to go Montgomery, because I would have gone Montgomery, and then taken Andrew Luck in the 6th round. That would have given me a much more powerful team. So there you have it. I'm taking Montgomery over Mahomes. Yeah, so in this scenario, I probably would have done that. If I could go back and change that, I would. Red Lobster hat. But I still love this team. It's still good. I still like it. But Mahomes and Luck would have been better than Mahomes and Pettis. I'll admit that. There is a time and a place to wait on a QB. And this was probably the one time because no one was falling. So that's an indication that you're not going to have as good a player down the way. But QBs could just as easily go really early too. You know, like in this draft, I wouldn't have been shocked if Watson and Luck both went before my 6th round pick. So it's tough to predict too. All depends on where those players fall. Luck right now, there's no new updates on his injury, but we'll see. Looking at these teams, the teams I like the most so far. So team 1, Kamara, Keenan Allen, Derrick Henry, Calvin Ridley, not bad. Todd, not bad. I don't know, I'd call that a top team yet, but Barkley in team 2 has Barkley, Gordon, Kerryon, Lockett, Cooper Kupp. Not bad. It's both those teams, team 1 and team 2, are one move away from, I think, being a top team from this group. Team 3, McCaffrey, Damian Williams, George Kittle, Galladay, Ingram, Fitz. I like that team. I call that team a top 6 team. Nice work. Computer-controlled SMFFCN, who accidentally got logged out, and his team is computer-controlled, but he's here supporting it. That shows dedication, my friends. Tyler is showing dedication. That team has Elliott, Todd Gurley, Aaron Jones, Chris Godwin, Landry, Andrew Luck. Not bad. I'd say that computer-controlled team did pretty well for you. You'd be top 6, especially if you had gotten Henderson, but that was out of your control. Hopkins, Mixon, Mahomes, Diggs, Tevin Coleman, Dante Pettis, Darius Geis. I think that's borderline top 6. I like it. I know I'm biased. I know that was my team, but David Johnson, James Conner, Adam Thielen, Edelman, Moore, Howard, Breeze. Not bad. I'd say that's right around that 5 to 8 range, and one move away from being, the big time. I'll get back to reviewing after I make my pick. Allen Robinson, then it went Christian Kirk. What do you guys think of Kirk this year? Jalen Samuels went, sniped right before me. I think I'll go. Let's see who's available. At tight end. Let's go Jordan Howard for now. He's looking like he might be. Oh, it looks like a computer timed out. That's all right. I'm okay with Hawkinson. There's a little bit of a delay on here. I tried to pick Howard, but I tried to pick Jordan Howard, but I timed myself out. That's what I worry about with the 48 team mock, is when we go down to 30-second, 45-second timer. With a little bit of delay, it's going to be interesting. I'm going to have to advise everybody to completely ensure that they're not relying on the live stream for the selection, that if there's a 25 to 30-second delay, especially when we've been online for a grip of time, because we'll be online for like 3 hours probably before we start the draft, that you better be using the web browser draft log to make sure you're. So for those that don't know, August 23rd, Friday, I'm going live for 24 straight hours again. I did it in February. I'm doing it again. So mark it on your calendars. August 23rd, Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern, I go live, and I'm going to stay live for 24 straight hours or until I pass out. I made it last time, so I don't anticipate passing out. But please join me. Hit that bell and turn notifications on so you don't miss my 24-hour live stream. Okay, so I'm up. Do not miss that live stream. Okay, let's get back to analyzing these teams. When's the live stream? Paste it in there. When's the live stream, guys? When is the live stream? Is it Thursday?
No.
Is it Wednesday?
No.
It's Friday. It's Friday, August 23rd, 2 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, Robert, it's Robert's anniversary. His wife won't mind. Robert, you could just step outside, join, jump on. You'll be fine. You'll be fine, Robert. Don't worry about it. 23rd. I think Nolan wanted to get a no. Okay, so I'm reviewing the teams here. So David Johnson, James Conner, Adam Thielen. Again, that's one move away. Bell, Antonio Brown, David Montgomery, Josh Jacobs, Tyler Boyd, Baker Mayfield, and Njoku. I'd have to say so far, who is that? G. I'd say so far, G, I like your team the best. Bell, Antonio Brown, Montgomery, Josh Jacobs, Tyler Boyd, Baker Mayfield, and Njoku. Love it. Fantastic team, bro. I give you the top spot right now. And usually I just say you're top six, you're close to top six. You were getting the top spot for right now. I like that spot. I love the 6-7 spot. I think it's so good. You're going to be at work, Nolan? Well, I got good news for you. I'm online for 24 straight hours, so you shouldn't have a problem checking in. But, yeah, you might miss the live draft, which starts at... The live draft will start at 5:30 p.m. Eastern. And but the live stream will start at 2 p.m. So we'll be online for a while before we kick off the draft. So August 23rd, 2 p.m. Eastern, I go live for 24 straight hours. About 2 or 3 hours into it, we'll start a 48-team league. And the great news about that is 48 teams sounds bad, right? Because how deep is that going to be? It's the same as playing in a 12-team league because I'm adding 4 copies of every player into the draft. Four players times 12 owners, 4 copies of every player times 12 is 48. So, again, it's like playing in a 12-team league when you look at it like that. You have the same odds of owning Zeke Elliott in this 48-team league than you would in a 12-team. And it could go Elliott, or let's use Kamara. It could go Kamara at 1.01, 1.02, 1.03, 1.04. Then it could go Barkley 1.05, 1.06. It's going to be freaking crazy. Leo, by the way, it's in Switzerland. Gonna be lit, says Garrett. Attaboy, Garrett. Garrett's gonna be there. I better get ready to draft. I don't even know who I'm taking. Who am I taking? Am I up? I'm up. Dante Foreman got cut today, by the way. If you didn't know, now you know. Let's go with my boy Devin. Devin the Motor Singletary. You can't draft any player twice though. Great question, Savvy. Other people can, but you can't own, as far as I know, and I'm going to look into that and I'll clarify beforehand, don't worry. But I don't believe you'll be able to own Mahomes 4 times, or whatever. Or Elliott 4 times. You can only own 1 copy of that player, but there are 4 copies so people can draft. I'll find out. I don't know how that's going to look. It'll be very interesting. I don't know if it's going to gray out that person for that player. I don't know. So I'll look into it and find out more information and get back to you. Okay, so let me review these teams real quick. So we gave G the spot. Okay, K, Julio, Nick Chubb, Zach Ertz, Philip Lindsay, Tariq Cohen. Not bad. I think you're also 1 player away, but not bad. Priz has Devontae Adams, Kelsey, Freeman, Cooks, Aaron Rodgers. Not bad. I think you're definitely right there in the top 6 potential. Oh, and I'm on the clock. I'm going to roll with got a big delay. I'm going to roll with Courtland Sutton. I like him a lot this year. I think he could take a big leap forward. I usually grab nothing but running backs at this point, but I'm going to go with a wide receiver and mix things up so you guys don't see the same damn draft over and over. Which is one reason I took Mixon. I probably wouldn't have taken Mixon if this was a real league, but I see decent value in the later half of the second round, so I want to give you guys a look of that. But I probably, to be honest, wouldn't draft Mixon. I would have probably figured out. I probably would have maybe taken the risk on Damien, but I don't want to draft the same team over and over. Like, what fun is it to see me draft David Montgomery every single time in all of my mock drafts? What good is that for you guys? So I want to mix things up a little bit. I strongly doubt Gordon lands in Houston. Who knows, though? Yeah, Gordon's not going anywhere, I don't think. We'll see. Stranger things have happened. We also thought Aaron Hernandez wasn't going to go to prison for life, and then, how that went. But that was kind of crazy. We also thought Ray Rice wouldn't just be raptured from the league and never play again. We also thought Love Bell would never hold out. We don't know what the hell could happen anymore. To suggest anybody knows that anything can happen, I don't know. Let's reduce the size of my mug and put me in the corner. All right. Mike Thomas, Team 10. Mike Thomas, Tariq Hill, Hilton, Cooper. That is the definition of zero running back. But I will say I don't think the running backs panned out. So, Alex, I don't know that was the right play here, but man, that's why we mock draft. So, Juju, Team 11, Juju, Mike Evans, Fournette, James White, Mike Williams, Lamar. I think you're a player away, but good attempt. I like your first 2 picks. I don't know who. If I were you, I would have taken. I don't know. He didn't really do anything horribly wrong, except for I just feel like those running backs didn't. What's up, Happa? Do you have the notifications turned on, Happa? Never thought Tyreek would open. Yeah, Tyreek playing opening day. People didn't think that would happen. Anything can happen, man. Okay, Team Vinny, Team 12, Odell, Cook, Marlon Mack, Robert Woods, AJ Green, Darrell Henderson, Russell Wilson. Love it. Top 16, bro. Top 16, bro, man. Attaboy. You get an attaboy, which is another thing I will be adding to the show. Also, if you guys haven't seen this, look at this. Take a lap. And I have a video to go along with it. I don't know that I've loaded it up. Maybe I can send it to my computer here real quick and show you guys that bad boy. But we have to take a lap. And let me see if I can send it to myself. I'm going to send this to myself. Yeah, but watching my infant daughter. Oh, gotcha. Sorry, Happa. Smitty. All right, let's see if I can send that to myself. Oh, I'm on the clock. Good Lord. Let's get back to the running backs. God, there's a big delay. I'm going to roll with so thin. I'm going to draft a solid backup quarterback at this point. I just don't like who's available. I do that often, and people think that's too early. I don't care. Round 12, I'll take a Tom Brady or a Ben Roethlisberger or somebody like that. No question about it. I love that people think that's ridiculous to get an awesome backup. What happens if something happens to Mahomes? I want my season to be done. If you can get a Tom Brady or Ben Roethlisberger, somebody like that, freaking fantastic move. Hit the thumbs up if you've entered the room or have not yet done it. Please. Help a brother out. Guys, this show is growing like insane amounts. Let's see. Take a lap. You guys ready for the take a lap video? My computer's dragging right now. I'm thinking I need to buy a new computer for just the live streaming, because things are lagging like crazy. Okay, ready for this? My computer's even gonna... I got a nice computer too, but I mean, just do
Take a lap. Take a lap. Yeah. Take a lap.
Right? You guys like that? Let's try that one more time. So, if you're bad, this is what we're going to play for you. If you say something dumb, if my computer will let me do it. Oh, God.
Take a lap. Take a lap. Yeah.
Damn it. I'm going to take a lap for missing out on this pick. What's up, Henry? I don't know. I'm just going to take Snell. I'm going to take a lap for that one. I'm going to take a lap in a minute because I'm going to go work out. And I have something I'm going to try and get everybody involved in. So on Instagram, if you don't follow me on Instagram, it's a freaking awesome splice of this show. I do shorter things on it. The show is on YouTube. Let's be honest. YouTube.com/The Fantasy Football Show. That's where the show lives. But let me go full screen for a second. But I'm going to do so many cool little like personalized things with you guys in my Instagram feed and on my stories. And what I want to do is challenge everybody to get in shape. So we'll do it together. I tore my knee up, tore my patellar tendon off my kneecap, and I basically need to get back to where I was at. You know, I've already gained like 10 pounds, 12 pounds, whatever. I need to lose it. So I'm in Arizona. It's 115, 120 degrees. I'm going to start running. Let's do challenges together. I'm going to give away prizes. So if you hit your goal or if you can beat me in a race, and right now I'm not as fast as I used to be, if you can run a mile in so many time or a half mile or do some kind of push-up challenge, I'm going to do all kinds of things. Then you're going to win subscriptions and giveaways. So get ready for that. I'm going to do something on IG in a minute. After this, I'm going to go running. So join me on Instagram. Just search for me for The Fantasy Football Show. So here's the draft so far, guys. For those that are just joining, here you go. Happa says, take a lap for looking like a dirty. What does that mean? What's look like a dirty mean? I don't even know what that means. Am I looking like a dirty? There's the mock so far. We're at the tail end of round 13. I think we're going 15 rounds, so it's almost over. We're now into round 14, so 2 more picks. It's getting thin. Look at these names. Got Josh Gordon going. Not that I don't think that could work out somehow, but I just mean that's how thin this is getting. We got Corey Davis. So who's going to run later with me or work out? Who wants to do this challenge? Get on Instagram, follow me. I'm going to do it on my stories and do giveaways. So I was thinking about doing some crazy challenge, like not an obstacle course type thing, but kind of, where if you complete it in a certain amount of time, going out to a football field or we'll do it around the block or whatever, I'm going to come up with some cool, crazy things and try and get everybody in shape. Have the 4 pick tonight. Not sure if I'm going to go Zeke or DJ. You really hate the holdout crap. Henry, I don't blame you for going DJ, and it depends on how many leagues you do. If you're doing, I don't know that I take Zeke in every single one of them, so that shows a little bit of concern for me, obviously. But I think I'm okay with that in 1 or 2 of my big leagues. Honestly, I just think Zeke's going to play, but some might say
No!
Juju or Odell. I like Odell, but that's me. That's me. I understand anybody likes Juju more. I get it. Running backs. Man, we're thin. We are thin. I guess I'm going to roll with... I guess I'm going to time out if I'm not careful. Probably got a timeout here. Take a lap for timing out. I timed out, but I timed out with the team I would take a defense. I like Cleveland. Hell yeah. What a timeout. Take a lap, Cleveland. I'm okay with that timeout. But I think I'll take my boy Debo next unless I get sniped. I draft my kicker in D later. What do you guys think of this mock? Let's review it. Let's look at this bad boy. So, in the first round, nothing out of the ordinary. Kamara, Barkley, McCaffrey, Elliott, and again, that's the debate. Do you take Elliott at 4? I still do, but that could change. Hopkins is my number 5. If you got the 5 pick, you could go DJ, Hopkins. I think both are amazing. Lev Bell's decent in 7 to 9 range areas. Julio, Adams, Mike Thomas, all arguable as the top 10 core. Then I think at 11 is really where it does get to where you're like, okay, do I take Juju? Do I take Odell? Do I take Cook, Evans, Tyreek Hill, Kelsey? I mean, that's a tight group right there, but they tend to fall right there, all those guys together. I like Odell. I love Cook. I love Evans. I like all those players, but Julio, I stray away from a little bit. Not a ton, just a little bit. I like to get him in the late second if possible. Call me crazy. I just feel like those other guys have more TD potential, and the injury risk of his foot from year to year just worries me. So for me, Julio is more of like a top of the second guy for me, and I hope that people take him in the first round so it bumps one of my other guys down. But I love Odell. I love Cook. I love Mike Thomas in that area. The draft is complete. Let me click out of this so we can keep looking at it. So I'm just going to review like the first 3 or 4 rounds here. So then it turns into Cook, Evans, Hill, Kelsey, Chubb, Antonio Brown. Couldn't be worse for me because none of my players are falling. I'm not getting Evans. I'm not giving a Dalvin Cook. I'm not getting a Nick Chubb. Guys that I would count on falling to my 5 pick. So I did take Mixon, who I never take. But I think there's good trade value there if this is a real league. And that value starts getting into the range where I'd feel he's more acceptable. I was hell-bent against drafting either Connor or Mixon in the top 7 to 10 where they were going earlier on in the offseason. This ain't a bad spot for Mixon. It also is getting to a decent place for Connor as well. I'd take Connor or Mixon from, I'd say, the last 4 or 5 picks in that second round, and I feel more comfortable with it because you can back those guys up, and you're not avoiding a bigger name player that has a lot less risk in the first round like you would if you're taking Mixon there or if you're taking Connor there. Connor or Mixon in the late second is where you're talking about Damian Williams, who does have some questions. Gurley, tons of questions. Melvin Gordon, questions. Keenan Allen, can he be second round capable? Derrick Henry, will he stay healthy? Kerryon Johnson, very exciting, but will he be able to stay healthy? Aaron Jones, huge injury risk. I'm not even skipping anybody. Kittle, some people say Kittle will be risky. I'm not even skipping anybody. All those players have question marks to a certain degree, so then that's where Mixon and Gurley even and Connor all become viable again because there's risk with everybody else around that area. Up where Mixon and Connor were going with Juju and Mike Thomas and Adams, and those guys are locked in rock solid. That's why I stray away from all those running backs that were very risky. So I'm okay with Mixon. I'm even okay with Gurley there. I wouldn't take him, but I'm okay with. I could tell people, hey, if you believe in Gurley playing 10 games at an elite level, then you can cuff him, and then Henderson blows up for the remainder or whatever. Just make sure you cuff him to Henderson. If you take Gurley in the second, you better damn well make sure you get Henderson. Damien, Melvin Gordon. Who knows where Melvin Gordon's going to end up? It's so hard to. I think that's about right now. I mean, I passed on him for Mixon, which part of me regrets, looking back. I can be honest, and I love that people say that experts can't disagree with themselves, like during their own mock draft. I will tell you right now, I kind of feel like I maybe should have went Gordon there, but I don't know. I can understand anybody taking Mixon, Gurley, Damian, Gordon, any of those guys right there. G, I think I already reviewed your team and said that you had the best team, didn't I? The Bell team? Are you the Bell team, number 7? I like that team a lot. So then, Keenan Allen was the only guy that fell out of place in that second round. I think Keenan Allen is a little high as your second drafted player, but it is at the turn, so you're getting Henry and Keenan. But for me, I would have probably have gone Kittle and Mahomes if I were you at that one pick. Kamara, Kittle, and Mahomes would have been insane. Or Kamara, Kittle, Montgomery, and taken, Baker or A-Rod later. That would be probably even better. I love all those options. But Kittle, Alvin Kamara, I love the one pick. Alvin Kamara, Kittle, and Mahomes is fantastic. Alvin Kamara, Kittle, Montgomery, Aaron Rodgers, or Mayfield later is fantastic. That wins a league right there. That is a fantastic start if you can get that. So I just feel like there's players that you could have drafted there that I would like better, but I could be wrong. So make sure you stick to your guns if you feel a certain way about Keenan Allen or Derrick Henry. Kerryon is going really high, top of the third now. I've seen him go in the bottom of the second. I'm not paying that price. I like Kerryon Johnson, but you got to price him right. And I think this is borderline to where I probably would take him, but maybe no higher. Kittle, I love in the third round. Aaron Jones, I love in the third round. Pat Mahomes, I love in the third round. Adam Thielen, I'm not necessarily saying he can't earn that, but I like Montgomery more. I like Mahomes more. I like, then you start getting into a range where Thielen starts making more sense, I think, toward the tail end of the third round. Love Calvin Ridley in the fourth. I loved Phillip Lindsay starting to look good in the fourth round. Josh Jacobs isn't bad in the fourth round. You're not going to see that oftentimes in a real world situation because we, the Fantasy Football Show clan, are pushing him down. And same with Fournette. I think Josh Jacobs and Fournette you will find going a lot higher in the real world. And you'll find Montgomery going a lot lower in the real world, which is awesome news for all of us. Aaron Rodgers, great value in the fifth round. Tevin Coleman, I love that pick in the fifth round. Mark Ingram's great in the fifth Andrew Luck in the sixth was fantastic. I took Pettis high. I don't like where I took Pettis. I don't like the fact, from a guy that loves drafting Mahomes, I would have loved to have rather gotten Montgomery in the 3rd round and Andrew Luck in the 6th round. Based on looking at where the players fell, those players would have been available to me. Looking at the draft board, I would have rather had that team. That team would have been top 3. So you saw a place where it made more sense to wait on a QB. So that's not always the case, though. Pat Mahomes is fantastic in the 3rd round. There are scenarios like this one where it would have worked out a little bit better. I would have been, I think, a top 2 team if I'd have taken Montgomery in the 3rd round and Luck in the 6th round. Top 2. Guaranteed lock, in my opinion. Now I'm just in the 3 to 6 range. But, one move away. That about does it, folks. I appreciate you joining. We will do more mock drafts. Do not worry. I'm going to go on Instagram in a little bit. I do want to remind everybody, if you want to play in contests that are prop style betting, if you enter promo code, not promo code Damien, promo code Smitty, and you go to monkeyknifefight.com and enter code Smitty, they will match up to $50 100%. So get on over there and use code Smitty. Start doing prop style betting. Daily fantasy sports is a fantastic way to do it. monkeyknifefight.com. Learn about it. And I'm excited to announce that I'm working with them all year. They're my top recommended daily fantasy sports site this year. Working very closely with them, and I will be all off season long. Very excited about that affiliation with them in 2019. So get on over to monkeyknifefight.com. Enter promo code Smitty. Get up to $50 100% match. And get to monkeyknifefight.com. I appreciate every one of you. Hit subscribe. Thumbs up on your way out. And again, know that once this video will process, the comments will be available in the live chat, but it will start over with the comments. It'll be a 0 comments. So I want you guys to comment, subscribe, comment, ask questions, and enter promo code Damian Williams. Ask questions, and I'll reply to you. I feel like I'm one of the most interactive, if not the most interactive, fantasy football channel on YouTube. I try and get to every question. So please ask away. Hit the thumbs up, share, tell your friends. We will be mock drafting soon. I appreciate every one of you. Until next time, be bold and get some.